season replays, fantasy drafts, ultimate created leagues, and what if tournaments. It's Coffee Cup Games with the coach, DKM.
Hey, this is Coach DK. Continuing our series from the year 1900, and our schedule is September 1st, so we are down to the last 2 weeks of the schedule. Only 14 games left. Playoffs obviously are very important right now and positioning. Today we got a good matchup. We got the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Giants. Both teams are 68 and 80, so this should be good for sure. Let's take a quick look at the records. As you can tell, in the American League, Chicago still leads. There seems to be a real close race, particularly for the 3, 4, and 5 spots between Cleveland, Milwaukee, and Detroit. But in the National League, which is where we are today, we have Philadelphia and New York. As you can tell, both teams are tied for 6. They are in a very, very close race, all the way from 4th place down to 8th place. Only 6 games separate 5 teams. And so playoffs are obviously really important in seeding, and how they do is all 8 teams make it. As you can tell, New York, they're doing about the same that they did originally in the year 1900. They are 24 games out of first place. Originally, they were 23. They are in 6th place, or 1 spot from the bottom. They came in the last place the last time, only a game and a half behind Cincinnati. So, and their winning percentage is not that different. They're at 46%. They won 43, 44% originally, so not that big of a difference. But Philadelphia has really been struggling this year. Originally, it was Pittsburgh who was really the team that was really dropping significantly and not doing as well. But now it seems to be Philadelphia. Philadelphia originally came in 3rd place. They had a 75 and 63 record, only 8 games out of first place behind Brooklyn. But in our replay, they are 24 games out, and they've only won 46% of their games. But knowing that, Philadelphia would be a team that I would not want to face in the first round. So if I am Brooklyn, Boston, St. Louis, or Pittsburgh, Philadelphia is probably the one team when I look at that bottom 4 and say I don't want to face them, because knowing that they have the talent and the ability to really be an upset team. So Philadelphia could be a lower seed team that could cause some real problems in the playoffs. But right now, they're just struggling to make sure they can get the best seed possible. Obviously, they want to play the worst team that they possibly can. And New York, they're doing well, and they're competing, and they have a chance with only 14 games left. 14 games left, and only 4 games out of 4th. They could actually possibly get home field advantage. So this game's going to be really important as we get ready to close out the season. For the starting lineups for the Phillies, we got Thomas, the center fielder, leading off. We got Slagle, the left fielder, batting second. Elmer Flick, the best hitter in the league, both American and National League. He's hitting over 400. He leads the league in home runs with, I think it was 18. So very excited to see him and how he's been doing. Nap Lajoie will be in the cleanup spot. He's playing second. He's been batting 500 and with 13 RBIs and 2 home runs in the last 10 games. So he's been really outstanding. Ed Delahante, he's been struggling. He's only got a 200 average in the last 10 games. Holverton, the third baseman, will be batting 6th. McFarland, the catcher, who's on a 10-game hit streak, will be batting 7th. Cross, the shortstop, will be batting 8th. And the pitcher will be Chick Frazier. He's started 28 games this year. He's got a 9-9 record and 3.60 ERA. As mentioned earlier, Philadelphia is a team that many other teams will not want to play in the playoffs. Just looking at their lineup today, you can see there's 3 Hall of Famers in Flick, Lajoie, and Delahante. For the home team, your New York Giants, who will be managing, we have in center Van Haltren, who'll be leading off. He's been struggling, hitting 186, but right behind him is Smith, the right fielder. He's actually been doing well. He's hitting 357. Selbach, the left fielder, will be batting 3rd. Hickman, the third baseman, 4th. Future Hall of Famer George Davis will be playing short. Win Mercer will be at 2nd, batting 6th. Grady, the first baseman, batting 7th. Warner, the catcher, will be batting 8th. And on the mound will be Pink Hawley. He has 38 games started. He has a 17-13 record and a 3.27 ERA. So we got good lineups from both teams, some good pitchers. Obviously, some guys that have been doing really, really well. But a very competitive games with both teams being tied for 6th with a 68-80 record. This should be fun. But before we jump in the action, I'm just going to ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment. Always like to hear what you guys have to say, things you enjoy, things you don't. anything that you would recommend, always appreciated. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into the game. We are at the Polo Grounds today. This is actually the second Polo Grounds field. So you can kind of see where they starts to kind of get this deep outfield that came to be common for the later Polo Grounds parks. But as mentioned, Thomas is going to be leading off. He's going against Pink Hawley on the mound. Thomas is going to hit a ground ball to Hickman at third, and that will be one away. Next up is Schlegel. He is the left fielder. He's going to hit a fly ball to right field, and that will make 2 down. Elmer Flick, who's hitting .402 with 18 home runs and 118 RBIs. I believe that is second in the league. Is going to hit a fly ball to right field. Smith is going to have to make a play. He gets there, but he drops it. That will be a 2-base error. Flick gets on base, bringing up Nap Lajoie, who unfortunately for them is, and fortunately for us, is going to hit a ground ball to third. Hickman's going to throw it over to first, and that will end the inning. So for us, the New York Giants, we got Van Haltren. He had a 25-game hit streak earlier in the season. He's going to lead off the game with a single. Their pitcher and their catcher both have a 0 hold or arm, so he's at 65% chance to steal. We're going to see if he can get a lead here. He does not get the lead under 50%, so we're going to let him sit tight. Smith's going to be up. He needs a 1 for a double, but he gets a 2. That will allow Van Haltren to try to take third. He will as they cut off the throw. That'll put runners on the corners. Next up is Selbach. He's hitting .336. Very, very similar to what he did originally. He does have almost 100 more at-bats. He does have about 17 more RBIs, but his average is pretty similar. A lot of his stat lines are very similar than what it was in the year 1900. Selbach's up. He's going to hit a single for an RBI, his 84th. We are not going to send Smith to third, keeping runners on first and second. Hickman is up. He is a C bunter, not what we want. He is hitting .351 this year, so we definitely want him to swing away. He's going to hit a ground ball to Lajoie, who's going to flip it over to Cross. They are not going to be able to turn the double play, but they do get the runner out at second. Runner still in the corners. 1 away. George Davis is up. He is going to hit a single. We are lighting up Chick Frazier. We are going to send Hickman to third. They cut off the throw. He's going to be there. So still runners on the corner. 2 runs scored. Win Mercer's up. He's hitting .338 this year. He has 40 RBIs. He's going to hit a single. So the 5th hit of the game already in the first, and they only have 1 out, and we continue to have runners on first and third. Grady's up. He is hitting .223. Definitely not the average we want. We might try to steal if we can see if we can steal second. If we can, we might try to bunt. He does not get the lead. So we're going to let Grady go ahead and swing away. He's going to hit a fly ball to center field. That's going to be good enough for a sacrifice fly, as Thomas has to go too deep to be able to make the throw to home. That's going to bring up our number 8 batter, Warner, our catcher. He's hitting .304 this season. He's going to draw a walk, so we have gotten every batter up in the inning as Pink Hawley, our number 9 hitter, and our pitcher is going to come up, and he's going to hit a single. The 6th hit of the game. I'm surprised they still have Chick Frazier in. So bases are loaded. Van Haltren, our leadoff man, is up, and they still are leaving him in. And luckily for them, this is going to be a pop-out, as he is not very good in the clutch. That will end the inning with bases loaded, but we get 6 hits, draw a walk, and we score 4 runs. So a nice lead for New York. Philadelphia, definitely the better team originally in the year 1900, is not liking the start that they got. We're happy with it. First up is Ed Delahante, the Hall of Famer. He's going to ground out. Next up is Wolverton, the third baseman. He's going to hit a fly ball to right, and that will be 2 away. Now it's going to be McFarland, the catcher. He's hitting .354 this year. He's going to draw a walk. And now Cross is up. He's the shortstop. He's going to get a ground ball to first base. Grady doesn't have a lot of range. But at year 1900, what just happened? It does have a better air, so he rips a sizzling ground ball. It zips through the hole. Smith is over to pick it up, throws a strike to Davis. No chance for McFarland at third. And so what it looks like is that is going to be a hit. So the first hit of the game for them, runners on the corners. Frazier, the pitcher, is up, who's probably the one guy they don't want up in that situation. And we will get out of the inning with a line out. So, bottom of the second, Smith is up. He's going to draw a walk. He's got decent wheels. 65% chance. We're going to try to see if he can steal second, and he does. So a stolen base. Selbach is up. He already is 1 for 1 with an RBI. He's going to get a second hit of the game. He's going to be able to possibly score. Smith, who's going to try to score. We're going to send the trailing runner. There's no cutoff. It's going to be a play at the plate. Smith scores. So beats the throw. Plays at the plate. Selbach takes second. So just got there. He needed a 1-12 to be able to be safe. He got the 12, which makes it tight, which means it's going to be play at the plate. McFarland is a 4, so he's not very good at covering, so that worked out for us. Hickman is up. He got a force out the last time in a fielder's choice. He this time is going to ground out, but it is going to be deep enough as Selbach was running on the hit. And that is going to make sure that he goes to third. So 1 away. It is going to be Davis, who hit a single the last time. He's going to ground out, but that should score the run. And that will get us up to 6-0. Mercer's up. He singled the last time. This looks like this is going to be a play with the catcher, and this should be an out as he pops it straight up, and that's going to end the inning. Top of the third, comfortable lead right now. Pink Hawley's still on the mound. He's going to get Thomas to the ground ball to Davis. Davis has got incredible range. And out. Close play as Davis is able to make the play. Luckily, he has really good range there. Slagle is up. He's going to draw a walk. That is going to be a second walk for Hawley. Elmer Flick, the league leader in hits, is going to line out. He is now 0 for 2, though he did get on base the first time with a 2-base error. 2 away, Nap LaJoie is up. He is going to line out. He's hitting .384, one of the best hitters in the league. But that will end the inning. Donahue has come in from the bullpen, so they have finally replaced him. So I believe this is Red Donahue. He's going to be facing McGrady. McGrady's going to line out the second. That's going to be 1 away. Warner is up. He's going to hit a fly ball to left field. So Philadelphia managers definitely feeling much better, knowing the fact that finally they're not able to give up some quick hits. Bill Schätzlein is the manager for the Phillies, and that is going to be a ground out the second. That'll be a 1-2-3 inning. So after 3 innings, it is New York 6, Philadelphia 0. New York has 6 runs on 7 hits. They have committed 1 error. Philadelphia has 0 runs, only gotten 1 hit, but they have not committed any errors. But down 6-0, it's not looking good. But they definitely have some hitters with Flick, LaJoie, and Delahante. Delahante's going to be leading off. He's going to rip a single off of a curveball, it looks like. And so he'll get on base. Wolverton's up. He's hitting .285 this year. He's going to line out. Next up is McFarland. He's hitting .354. He needs a 1-3 for a triple. Unfortunately for them, it's going to be a 20. Luckily for us. So that will put runners on the corner. Only 1 out. Cross is up. He singled the last time. He's going to hit a ground ball to the pitcher, to the pitcher, who's going to take the easy out at first, keeping the runner at third. So runners on second and third. Donahue, the pitcher, is up. They are going to bring in Al Orth to pinch hit, who is also a pitcher. So I believe he plays right field. Sometimes when he's not on the mound, he is actually coming in as a pinch hitter. I'll be curious to see what they do with him if he takes the mound. But he's going to ground out to Hickman at third. That is going to end the inning. And they do not keep Orth as the pitcher. They're going to bring in Maul. So Van Haltren is up. He is 1 for 2 with a single. He's going to strike out. So 1 away. Smith's up. He's 1 for 1. He drew a walk first time. He needs the 1-17 for a triple. So we like those odds. It's going to be an 8. So Smith is going to get a triple. Selbach is up. He's already 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Both hits drove in a run. So he's got 2 RBIs. He's up. He's going to hit a fly ball to left field to Slagle. Slagle's going to have to make a play. He's got good range. He's pretty good with his errors. He does make the catch, but as he was running to make the catch, he was able to get the out, but he was not able to keep the run from scoring. So that would be put down as a sacrifice fly. Next up is Hickman. He's going to hit a ball to Slagle. Slagle's not going to have to move as much for this one. And so that will end the inning. But another run added. It is a 7-0 lead as we enter the top of the 5th inning. Thomas is up. He's grounded out twice. He's hitting .294. He's going to improve that average with a single, the second hit of the game. Slagle is up. It is a low pitch. It bounces away from Warner, and Thomas is able to take second. Slagle's still up. He's going to hit a ground ball to short to Davis, who has to go to his left. He does get the play. He spins and fires to first. That will be the out, but Thomas is on first. We are not going to bring our infield in. Elmer Flick is up. He is hitting .401. He dropped the point, but he just got a hit for the game, so that's going to help his average. So Flick, who's hitting .401, gets another hit. And next up is Nap Lajoie. He's going to hit a single. And they're going to have runners on the corner. They're heart of their lineup with their 3, 4, and 5 hitters now after Slagle got on. That is their 6th hit now. And now up is Delahante. He is a 1-7 for a single. He gets a 12. So that will make 2 outs. They not deep enough to be able to advance Flick. So Wolverton is up. He's going to hit a ground ball to shortstop. So we get out of the inning. But they do get 1 run back. So it's now 7-1. We enter the bottom of the 5th. Davis is up. He's going to hit a ground ball to Cross. Cross has got good range. Unfortunately, though, he is not very good at fielding the ball, and he makes an error, the first error against the Phillies. So Davis is on first. Mercer's up. He's 1 for 2. He's going to draw a walk, bringing Grady up. Grady is hitting .222. Normally, I would probably bunt here, but we're going to let him swing since it's a 7-1 game, and he is going to hit a single. We are not going to send the runner. It is 7-1. Bases are loaded. There are no outs. They are not bringing their infield in with such a deep, so they're going to try to get the double play. Warner is up. He's hitting .302. He's going to hit a ground ball to second base. Lajoie is probably the one guy we don't want to hit it to, and it is going to be a double play, but we do get a run scored. Nap Lajoie is one of the best fielding second basemen in the league, and so he is able to make the play, turn the double play in a 4-6-3 double play. So Hawley, the pitcher's up. He's going to hit a ground ball back to his counterpart, to Mall, who's going to grab it and throw it to first. We do get another run, getting our lead back up to 7. We are now in the top of the 6th. McFarland's up. He has been on base both times with a single and a walk, and he's going to get on base again. He has another single to add to his game. Oh, Cross needs a 1. He gets a 2, so lucky for us, it'll be a line out. So that'll be 1 away. Mall is up. I imagine they're going to bring in a pinch hitter. They do. It is Ziegler who's going to hit for Al Mall. And so with 1 away, runner on first, pinch hitter comes in. We still have Pink Hawley in. And the hit's going to be to George Davis, a very, very good shortstop. And again, the infielders who have the skill and the range are pulling double plays. And that is going to end the inning in a 6-4-3 double play. Van Haltren is up as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Still 8-1. Van Haltren, who's 1 for 3, hitting .289 this year, is going to get out. Smith is up. He's been on base every time with a single and a triple and a walk, and he's going to get his 3rd hit of the game. He's going to rip a single. We're going to try to see if he can steal. And he does not, so he's not able to get a good lead. Selbach is up. He is 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. He had a sacrifice fly the last time. He's going to hit a fly ball to center field. This one, unfortunately, there's no runner on third, so this is not going to be a sac fly. He will be 2 for 3. Hickman's up. He is 0 for 3 today. He had scored a run. He's going to pop up, and that is going to end the inning. as at the end of 6 innings, it is 8-1. New York has 8 runs, 10 hits, committed 1 error. In Philadelphia, though their bats are starting to get lively the last few innings, do only have 1 run on 7 hits, and they have also committed 1 error. And as you know, it's at the end of the 6th inning, so it is time for our player profile. And our player profile today will be Hall of Famer Elmer Flick. Elmer Flick currently is leading the league prior to today's game. He was hitting .402. He had 18 home runs, both of which lead the league. He was second in RBIs. And so obviously having a bang out career. But some interesting things about Elmer Flick, he actually started his baseball career at the age of 15 years old. He showed up to his local town's train station to send off a local baseball team, amateur baseball team. But when the team showed up, they only had 8 players. They needed a 9th, so they asked Elmer Flick, the 15-year-old, who was barefoot, if he wanted to come join them, and Elmer Flick jumped at the opportunity. Elmer Flick played in the minors for a few years, and then in 1898, when he was 22 years old, the Philadelphia Phillies came to him and asked him to be a backup outfielder for their team. Elmer Flick went to the Phillies in 1898. He was playing behind particularly Sam Thompson, the future Hall of Famer. But after 6 games, Sam Thompson hurt his back, and Elmer Flick was thrown into the starting lineup. Sam Thompson did try to return in about a month and a half later in May, but re-injured his back and then very quickly announced his retirement. So Elmer Flick became a regular starter. In 1898, he had a .302 average, had 8 home runs, 13 triples, and 81 runs batted in. So his rookie season was incredible. 1899, his sophomore season, he was actually even doing better. He was hitting .342. He had 98 runs, 98 RBIs, but then he injured his knee in August and then tried to come back and re-injured it, so wasn't able to play several games at the end of the season in 1899. He only played in 127 games, so he missed about maybe, I would say, 15 games or so during that time. But in 1900 was probably one of his better seasons. He actually was in a batting fight, the batting race for the batting championship, batting title. Came down to the end of the season, came down to the very, very last game. The title winner ended up being Honus Wagner, who just inched him out. Honus Wagner later said, "I've had a lot of thrills, but don't think I was ever happier than in 1900 when I won after battling Elmer Flick to the last day of the season for the title." So Elmer Flick had an incredible year in the year 1900. He had hit .367, which was second, obviously, in the league, just behind Honus Wagner. He had a .545 slugging percentage, had 11 home runs, 59 extra base hits, and 297 total bases. He was the RBI leader in the year 1900. He was also the batting champion eventually in 1905, and he led the league, the American League, in stolen bases in 1904 and 1906. He was the batting champion of the American League in 1905. Just make sure we're clear on that. Elmer Flick was with the Phillies until the year 1901, but around the year 1900, his teammates, Nap Lajoie and Ed Delahante, also future Hall of Famers, were not happy with their contracts, and they threatened to leave the Phillies. In 1901, they ended up leaving to go to I think it was 1901 or maybe it was 1902. After the first year, they actually jumped ship and went to the American League. Elmer Flick went to the Athletics in 1902. But during the year 1900, he actually got in a fist fight with his teammate, Nap Lajoie, the second baseman. Nap Lajoie ended up breaking his thumb and had to miss 5 weeks. So obviously, a little in-house brawl. Not sure the whole story about what happened there, but I do know he got in a fight with Nap Lajoie. Nap Lajoie broke his thumb and was out for 5 weeks. But in the year 1902, he did jump to the Philadelphia Athletics. But he was still under contract with the Phillies, thinking he had left that league and gone to the Athletics. He thought he would be okay. I quit. I'm going here. The Phillies filed an injunction with the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, who agreed that Elmer Flick was not allowed to play for the Athletics. And so therefore Elmer Flick was supposed to return to the Phillies to honor his contract. And so he, like some other players who were in a similar situation, including Nap Lajoie, Bill Bernhard, and Chick Frazier, the pitcher who started the game for the Phillies, they were not allowed to play for the Athletics, but they found a loophole, which, since it was done by the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court, they could just not play in Pennsylvania. Is the only place it applied. So Lajoie and Flick and Bernhard and Frazier, they decided that they were not going to play any games. They, in Pennsylvania, Flick, being worried that he might get a subpoena and be arrested and be forced to go back to the Phillies, he ended up leaving the Athletics, going to Cleveland in I want to say it was 1902 or 1903. It might be 1902. He ended up going to Cleveland and decided he was not going to step foot in Pennsylvania at all, whether it be Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. He did not play in any games. He didn't even set foot in the state until everything was cleared up in 1904 between the two leagues. He finished his career in Cleveland, and he was one of the greatest players ever to come out of the major leagues, obviously making him a Hall of Famer, which he was inducted in 1863. He is the oldest player that was living to earn enshrinement in Cooperstown at age 87. Elmer Flick joined the Hall of Fame in 1863. One of the best players, obviously a league leader in our replay, hitting over 400, having 18 home runs. Originally in the year 1900, he was the second best hitter. He started off with the Phillies, then went to the Athletics, and then left to go to Cleveland, playing for, ironically, the Cleveland Naps, which was managed by Nap Lajoie. And so now you know, and as G.I. Joe says, knowing is half the battle, and he's a real American hero. So let's get back to the game as we are finishing up the Phillies versus the Giants. And the score is 8-1. It is the top of the seventh. Thomas is up. He's 1 for 3. He needs a 1-7 for a single. He does not get it. So that is going to make one away. Next up is Schlegel, the number 2 hitter. He's going to pop out. That will get 2 down. And now they get to the heart of the lineup. Flick is up, who we just highlighted. He, again, is hitting 402, 119 RBIs. He has 18 home runs, 19 triples, and he's going to line out. He is 1 for 4 today, so not helping his average in that way. So that'll be 3 away. And our trivia question is, for the Reds in 1969, what catcher established the National League record for putouts in a season with 1135? I would have to say Johnny Bench. And the answer is Johnny Bench. So that one was a softball pitch, in my opinion. When you talk about the Reds, you talk about the 60s and 70s, and you talk about anybody behind the plate, it's got to be Johnny Bench. So George Davis is up, the Hall of Famer. He's 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He's going to draw a walk. We're going to try to see if he can steal a base here. He's going to try to see if he can get a lead. He does get the lead, and he's going to be safe, just beating the throw. When Mercer's up, he's 1 for 2. He has drawn a single. It's going to be drawn a walk. It's going to be a pass ball, though, and Davis now is on third. Mercer is up. He's going to hit a single, and so that will score. Davis is now 9-1. Mercer is going to be at first. Grady is up. He is 1 for 2, having an RBI on a sac fly. He's going to hit another fly ball. This time it's going to go to left field. That'll be just 2 out. Pitcher might have gotten hurt. Nope, he's just shaken up. So he'll be able to stay in the game. So next up is Warner for us, our catcher, number 8 hitter. He's going to hit a ground ball. That is going to be a double play as the pitcher flips, throws it to Cross, who then swings on over to Ed Delahante for a 1-6-3 twin killing. Top of the 8th, Nap Lajoie is up. Plenty of juice left for Pink Hawley as he's pitching a good game, only allowing 1 run, and he is going to get a strikeout. His 53rd of the season, first one of the game. Ed Delahante is up, and it's going to be another strikeout. So that will be 2 strikeouts. Can he strike out the whole side? No, as Wolverton hits a single. Not a lot of strikeouts on the card for Hawley. But next up is going to be McFarland. He's 2 for 2. He's already drawn a walk. He's going to draw a second walk. Now they got runners on first and second. Cross is up. He's 1 for 3. He actually does pretty good in the clutch, but this time he is going to pop out the first. That is going to end the top of the 8th, and we go to the 9th, or excuse me, the bottom of the 8th. Pink Holly's up. We're going to leave him in, even though it is the bottom of the 8th. He's just going to get a simple out. Van Haltren's up. He's going to be struck out. So several strikeouts going on, particularly against the Giants. Smith is up. He is 3 for 3. He's got 2 singles, a walk, and a triple. He just got his 3rd single of the game. He is now 4 for 4. Selbach is up. He is 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. He's going to rip a single. That's going to put runners on first and second. Next up is Hickman, who has really struggled today. He's hitting 348, so he's got a good average for the season. But he has just been doing a lot of offers today. And the offer is going to continue as he is 0 for 5. So next up is going to be, that'll end the inning. Next up will be Dunn, the pitcher. I'm sure they're going to bring in a pitch hitter for him. And Klondike Douglas is going to come up to bat, the lefty. And Pink Holly's going to try to finish the game. And we are in the top of the 9th with a 9-1 score. Douglas is up. He's going to rip a single to first, or excuse me, a line out to first. That'll be 1 away. Next up is Thomas. He's 1 for 4. He's going to draw a walk. Next up is Slagle. He's hitting 285 this year. He's been 0 for 3 this year, though he did draw a walk earlier in the 3rd. But he is going to get a 1 to 8 for a triple, and it's going to be a 9 lucky for us. That's going to keep runners at the corners. So next up is Elmer Flick. If he gets a hit, he's pretty much right at that 400 mark. But it is going to be something with the catcher. It is going to be a 1-base error, it looks like. As a run scores, our second error. Flick, though, does not get credit for the hit. But it is his 3rd time on base. He's advanced twice because of errors. Napoli-Joie is up. He needs a 1 for 2 for a home run. And it's going to be an 8, so that would be a simple fly out. But that could have just made it real interesting, making the game 9-5 if that would have been a home run. And now up with 2 away is Ed Delahante. He's 1 for 4. Runners on first and second. He is going to keep the game alive as he's going to hit a single to the opposite direction to right. He's going to score 1, and that is going to put runners on the corners. Wolverton is up. He's going to hit a single to right. He pulled that one as he's a lefty. And that is going to score another runner, keeping runners on the corners. This will be Pink Holly's last batter, as he needs a 1 to 4. McFarland's up. He's gotten 2 walks. He needs a 1 to 4. It's going to be a single. And so they are trying to make a comeback. 4 runs in the 9th. We are going to bring somebody in to end this game as a pitcher. My gut was Win Mercer. Win Mercer does have 2 saves. He is one of our regular starters, so I'm kind of thinking I might want not to do that. Taylor and Coogan both have some saves here. So let's see what Taylor's got. Taylor, the right-hander, is 4 and 5 this year. He's got a 3.7 ERA. He does have several saves, so I think we just might go with Taylor on this one, as he's going to come in to try to finish the game. Runners on first and second. They are going to bring in Monty. Nope. They're going to bring in a pinch hitter for Monty Cross. It's going to be Pierce Childs. He is a right-hander. And it will be a fly ball to center field. So Taylor comes in, has 1 batter to face. He does do exactly what is needed, and he gets Pierce Childs, to fly out to end the game. But scary little potential comeback at the end. Taylor gets credit for the save, only going against 1 batter. I would have said Hawley would have been the player of the game. He did go 8 2/3 innings, but he did give up 12 hits. He did allow 5 runs, though only 1 of those runs was earned. He did strike out 2, but when you give up 12 hits and walk 4, I don't think you can give him player of the game. My gut would be it would have to be Selbeck or Smith. Selbeck went 3 for 4. He had 3 RBIs, did score a run. The other option, and probably who I'm going to give it to, would be Smith, the right fielder. He went 4 for 4. He did score 3 times. So player of the game would be Smith. Here's what they say about it. Left fielder Kip Selbeck had 3 base hits and 3 RBIs, so they are looking more for him. At the Polo Grounds 3, where the New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Phillies 9-5. New York jumped out to an early lead in the first inning as they scored 4 runs on 6 base hits. Philadelphia tried unsuccessfully to come back in the 9th. The win was credited to Pink Hawley, who went 8 2/3 innings, allowing 5 runs. Dummy Taylor earned the save, his 6th. Chick Frazier, 9-10, was the losing pitcher. He got hit pretty hard, allowing 7 hits, walking 2 in only 2 innings of work. Just 1 or 2 mistakes were all it took to beat us today, said Bill Schätzlein. We take these games one at a time, but this one was hard to take, especially hard since we're talking about playoffs. And so, obviously, this is going to have some... Philadelphia is going to be dropping now behind New York. New York jumps up ahead of them. So just let's take a quick look at the standings. So as you can tell in the records, still very, very close. Indianapolis beat Milwaukee. That obviously helps them stay in their position. Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh, so that hurts Pittsburgh, helps Cincinnati. Cincinnati now gets within 1 game of 7th. Boston beat Chicago, so that helps Boston, hurts Chicago as they actually drop a little bit lower, so that's making the race even tighter as both Pittsburgh and Chicago drop. Cincinnati and New York win, and Philadelphia obviously lost, so that's going to make that race even tighter now. Brooklyn whooped up on St. Louis. St. Louis was trying to get to Boston, but Boston wins. St. Louis loses. That gives Boston a little bit of a gap. Detroit beats Chicago, and so that doesn't allow Chicago to get closer to clinching the league, but it does help Detroit as they now gain a game over Milwaukee, who lost, so that helps Detroit get in that 4th spot, brings them closer to Cleveland, obviously, who also lost. They lost at Minneapolis, and then the last game obviously was the New York one versus Philadelphia, so a lot of things continue to keep on mixing up in the season. Elmer Flick dropped to 400, so curious to see if he's able to maintain a 400. Will he be our first 400 hitter? But as you can tell, in the American League, we have 2 really, really good races going on. You got Cleveland, Detroit, and Milwaukee all within a game of each other. And then you got Kansas City and Buffalo, who are really trying to figure out who can get 6. But in the National League, you got a fight for 2nd between Boston and St. Louis, and then you got 5 teams between, all separated by only 5 games. And so very, very good race going on. We'll continue to watch it as we move forward. But until next time, this is Coach DK. Hope you have a good one.